Well, Superman's legacy won't be the only thing that James Gunn puts his spin on. It'll also be his own version of the Justice League, including Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific. I know what you're thinking. This is definitely terrific news. Nailed it. What is happening, Internet? K-Wing here, and how's everybody doing? Today we're talking about Superman Legacy casting, and I'll do my best not to butcher the actress and actresses' names. Here we go. So, let's start with the most fantastic news, Mr. Terrific, Michael Holt, who will be played by Eddie Gathegi. Sorry, apologies to the actor. So anyway, Mr. Terrific, if you don't know, he's a character that is kind of like Martian Manhunter in terms of intelligence. This is a very smart guy who is able to build really impressive technology things to rival that of Batman and other superheroes. Also, he has a very brilliant and strategic mind who operates the Watchtower very well, and you may remember him from the Justice League Unlimited cartoon where he took over after Martian Manhunter had to leave for a sabbatical for some reason, and Mr. Terrific just slipped right in there and ran the place like it was no problem. It was a very fun character that Dwayne McDuffie, I believe, placed in there for a reason, and it was great to see him. He had some fun banter with Batman, and we've also seen him show up in the CW. To be honest, I don't really know anything about the actor who is going to be playing Michael Holt, but I'm just happy to have Mr. Terrific in this new DCU. And as long as they model it after the JLU, I'll have no complaints. Don't screw this up, James. Just don't. Next up, we've got Hawkgirl, played by Isabella Merced, who you may recognize as the girl who played live-action Dora the Explorer, as well as was in the running to play Barbara Gordon when she competed against Leslie Grace and unfortunately lost. Personally, she was my pick to play Barbara Gordon next to Zoe. I thought either one of those would be great in an action role over Leslie Grace, but it wasn't to be. Also, the Batgirl movie wasn't to be, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm very happy that Isabella is joining the DCU, and she is going to play Hawkgirl. Now, Hawkgirl is a very popular character, one that has been sidelined for so long, and should have been included in Zack Snyder's Justice League along with Wonder Woman, because she appeared in the Justice League animated series and more or less came back for the JLU. But you'd have to watch the story unfold from Justice League and then to JLU, and she had a very interesting character arc. She was also played by the lady who was in Wizards of Waverly Place, who played the mom. Now, I don't know what version of Hawkgirl this is going to be, if Isabella is going to be playing Shira or another version of Hawkgirl, because there's been a few. But I have to say that so far, James Gunn is not disappointing me with his cast for both Superman, Lois, Mr. Terrific, and now Hawkgirl. But here comes the interesting casting, because I agree and I don't agree with this. Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, or Fellion, or whatever. He's actually no stranger to playing Green Lantern, but usually in animated form. He has the perfect voice for Hal Jordan. And this time around, he's not playing Hal Jordan. He'll be playing Guy Gardner. Now, you know me. Not a big fan of Guy Gardner. I'm in Batman's camp in that regard, punching him straight in the face to shut him up. Guy is an annoying character that I just can't stand, and I know EVS and some other people did some great things with Guy Gardner, but I'm just not a fan. Personally, I think that Nathan would have been an amazing Hal Jordan, but maybe there's some truth to those old rumors that Tom Cruise would be playing Hal Jordan. Now, Nathan is no spring chicken, but Guy Gardner, I guess they're probably going to go with a younger Hal Jordan, but I don't know. Whenever I think of Nathan, immediately I think of Hal Jordan because he played the character so much. Guy Gardner is wicked annoying. Like, he just has a punchable face, and Nathan's a nice guy. I can't see him being like this obnoxious ginger guy. You know, I just can't see it. Maybe James Gunn and DC know something I don't, but I just can't picture it. This is the only casting to me that, like, when I heard him as Green Lantern in live action, I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to do Hal Jordan right. And then Guy Gardner. I know, I have a bias. It's clear, and I just can't stop. You know, I actually smiled several times when in Batman Brave and the Bold that, Batman clocked Guy really good because he needed it. And if you played the Batman Brave and the Bold game with Guy Gardner as your partner, then, you wanted to smack him. You just did. Still, the Mr. Terrific casting, perfect. Isabella playing Hawkgirl, so good. Very excited. And of course, Nathan playing Green Lantern, but Not Hal Jordan. That's the biggest takeaway I took from this entire casting. Everything else, perfect. Just great. And then, Guy. But anyway, now I want to hear from all of you guys and gals. How do you feel about this casting? Do you think that James Gunn picked an excellent cast for Superman Legacy, for Justice League characters? Or do you think, wait a minute, they're overstuffing this movie with characters? Now let me stop you right there. So what James Gunn is doing differently is this is a lived-in world, meaning superheroes already exist. They don't have to be established. Now, some of you may not be old enough to remember this, or maybe you weren't born, but it was a big deal when the Justice League show debuted on Cartoon Network. And everybody knew who Batman and Superman was, but most of the Justice League, well, folks didn't really remember them outside of the Super Friends show, which was super campy. So it opens up with Batman and Superman. They do their little banter. They're kind of frenemies, not really. And then over the course of the pilot episode, the Justice League is introduced, and how they make them appear and actually work within the story was perfect. So if James Gunn can actually pull this off in the movie with Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, and Mr. Terrific, interacting with Superman in a very natural way, but also it works with the story, like maybe fighting Brainiac or some type of, scary Superman villain, it could work. Unless this is just going to be glorified cameos where Hawkgirl and Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific just show up for, to establish their characters in a later thing, like a Marvel film. But I really hope that they help fight the bad guy too, maybe. But I like the idea that this is a world that already exists and superheroes are among us. Because Man of Steel was supposed to be a branching off point for superhero origin stories like Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, etc. And even Batman, but then they changed their mind and they're like, no, Batman's existed for 20 years. So they're kind of doing that, but not with Superman being the catalyst for this new universe. Superman is going to arrive while superheroes are very, out there doing their stuff. So I like that. I like when superhero shows and movies do that. So I'm excited about that a lot. And I hope it works out well for DC this time around. But, I love this casting. Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific working with Superman all in one movie. And if they tease Batman, I won't be mad. I just won't. But yeah, that's all I have to say. It's possible Amber and I will be doing an Injustice video over on our other channel, like talking in detail about this during a live stream. You guys can ask us questions, all that fun stuff. But this is, my personal take on what I thought about it. So I'm more or less happy about it, except for the Guy Gardner thing. It just, I'm fine. So anyway, keep it locked here for more news on DC stuff, and mostly when it relates to Batman. So in video games, TV, movies, and occasionally comics when they don't suck. Thanks so much for watching, guys and gals, and I will see you next time.